Hello, everyone. All right, I am very proud of myself because this is my first time doing StreamYard and doing it live. So yay to me, your host, Heather Clark. Yes, intro like a pro. Yes, thank you, Jessica, for your training on that because I had no clue what I was doing. So that actually brings me into the whole topic today and just the fact of, I originally had a plan and then the plan changed in a sense. So I'm still going to talk to you about decluttering. Don't you worry about that. Because that is something I absolutely can talk to you guys about. I'm just going to veer off and start with the plan. Because guess what? Plans change. Plans definitely change. And that's part of what we do when we declutter is we make a plan, right? And then we also have to embrace the in between or the journey or the aka chaos, but we still continue on what our plan was. In a sense, we adjust it and then we get to the end where you get to be able to enjoy what you've decluttered, enjoy the things you do want in your life, in your home, in your mind, in your spirit, all that stuff. So originally we were going to talk about spring cleaning because obviously up here in the Western hemisphere, we are in spring now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, mind you, my aunt was actually telling me yesterday that they still have snow in their backyard and a lot of it. So I'm glad I live where I live because we have no snow now and I'm okay with this. But yeah, so it was talking about spring cleaning and, the details of that. But then I figured, you know what? No, we got to start with the plan. We got to start with understanding that plans do change. They do. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm going to combine the two, the plan and spring cleaning. So my plan originally was to do my spring cleaning last weekend. The kids weren't here. I was just going to absolutely enjoy doing the spring cleaning, do the windows. I did get some of the windows done, I will say that. But I didn't get the whole spring cleaning that I planned for done. And most of that was because there was things that had to be done personally. There was things that had to be done professionally and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I guess I'm not doing the full spring clean this weekend. Okay. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to do it and break it into pieces because you know what? It's much simpler that way. Doing spring cleaning, any kind of cleaning, any kind of decluttering, you want to do it in probably smaller bits if it's too overwhelming at the beginning. Or if you're realizing that your original plan that you had changed. So with that, with the spring cleaning and with all that, I'm actually going to go to the comments right now, actually, because I see a whole bunch are coming in. Hello, Teresa, Donnell, and obviously Jessica, the Breakthrough Network host as well. We make a plan. Some of us may or may not stick to it, but that's okay. See, that's the journey. That's enjoying the journey of it. That is embracing the chaos of the plan. Because yes, you make a plan, you make an end goal. My end goal is to have XYZ. My end goal is to do my spring cleaning this weekend. Well, okay, maybe not this weekend because it's Easter weekend. By the way, happy early Easter to everyone who celebrates Passover, all that stuff to everyone. So let's say I have a plan to do spring cleaning this weekend. Okay, I'm going to include the kids. They're here from this date to that date, and we're going to do it. Actually, I had a plan to do yard work. So spring clean, yard work. The weather has decided we are not doing that this weekend. So again, you adjust. You embrace the chaos of the fact that the weather is not going to be happy and it's going to be cold. And I do not do well in cold. So I embrace that chaos and I embrace that thing and I change the plan. And I don't get upset with myself that I had to change it. I don't get upset with myself that it doesn't get done right now. Because I used to. I will say I absolutely used to be that person that blocked out like every half hour of my schedule. Like I really wish I had actually, I really should just frame it once I do find it, if I ever find it, even a photo of it. Because I kid you not, I used to have what is it called? Graph paper. I used to have graph paper and every block was a half hour. And I used to like, and this was, now mind you, this was when I had my cleaning business and I had to have a client, from 9 to 12. And then I had another client for 12:30 to 3:30 or whatever the case may be. Like, so it needed to be rigid in a sense for that timing because there was so much going on. And I needed to not think. I think that's why a plan is good, because then you don't think about what's the next step. You make a plan, and then you know what's your next steps. Oh, okay, so this happened in life. Okay, now I need to adjust those steps. Here's my end goal still, though. I'm still going to do that. Like my end goal is still going to eventually be in spring cleaning. Now, mind you, depends on, the weather and Mother Nature and, the yard work and stuff. Spring cleaning might be late spring cleaning, but I have to be okay with that though. And I think that's what upsets a lot of us is when change happens, we're not okay with it. But it literally is, it's awesome. I wish I could say anything other than change is good. Change is awesome. Change is emotional. Change is crazy in your head, confusing. But at the same time, it's amazing. It really is. Let's just take the weather. We're going back to, spring cleaning and the weather and stuff. Everything outside right now here where I live is changing. The animals are changing. The birds are coming back. The ground's changing. The plants are changing. Like change is, we always hear this, change is the only constant. So with that and the spring cleaning and the plan and stuff like that, you also have to embrace the journey and the chaos. So what can that look like? Well, yesterday I had a plan to do certain things. I was picking up my son. My daughter was home and like by herself. She's got the phone and everything like that, and she's good. And as I'm picking up my son, I see a bunch of smoke. I'm like, whoa, who's doing a crazy fire? And yeah, and then all of a sudden my son finally gets into the car and we start driving. And then I realize, oh, that's a house fire. That's an absolute house fire. So first thing on my mind is call your sister just to make sure she's good. And it got to a point that we couldn't even see down the street because the smoke was so heavy and so bad and the wind was blowing. So I embraced that chaos because it was quite chaotic and we got to everyone got out okay, all animals, all that stuff. So just putting that out there. But I had a plan and my plan changed because of the chaos. I embraced that chaos. I embraced the chaos of my son breaking down into the fact of, he thought his sister and he, whatever. I embraced the chaos of, having to make sure that everyone was okay, that having to make sure that, 911 was called and all that stuff. And it's things like that yes, I had a plan to do certain things by last night, but I embraced the right now. I embraced that chaos that was happening. I embraced the moment, because I think sometimes when we have a plan and we stick too far into the plan, we forget to live in the now. We forget to live right here with whoever's in front of us, whatever we're doing. I think that's what yesterday, was teaching myself, was teaching my son, was teaching my daughter, because not only did we talk about it and talk about the fire and make sure that everyone was okay and all that stuff, is we got to sit down and talk as a family and just making sure that they did, to reiterate how, if we have a fire in our home, what is the plan? Okay, your plan's to go out one of the front doors. Okay, what if you can't get out your own bedroom door? Oh, we have to now change that plan. You now have to adjust in the moment of what's going on. And it's so funny because I didn't realize how impactful just something like that would have been on my children, to the point of, okay, cool. And we got to talk to the neighbors. Now, of course, obviously my kids said, oh, go to the next door neighbors. And unfortunately, but hopefully, knock on wood, let's just knock on wood here. We never have to deal with that. But my next door neighbors are actually moving. I'm kind of getting a little complex here. But that's okay. because across the street, she said, no, we're not moving anytime soon. So you've got me for life. So yeah, so I basically said to the kids, I said, worst case scenario, you get out. Don't worry about your stuff. Because guess what, guys? Stuff can be replaced. People cannot. That's why I said to them, I was like, I don't care about your TV, your phone, your clothes, your whatever. I care about you and if we had pets. That's it. Make sure you guys, you first. And get out, whether your window, get out, whatever. So again, the plan originally was to do my work. The chaos was literally trying to drive through a like the smoke was ridiculous. Like, because I can only imagine what the smoke was in the home if outside down the street were as bad as it was. And like I said, everyone is safe, everyone's fine. The house is not. The house is literally half burnt on the backside, but everyone's safe. And that's the thing. Stuff is stuff. That's why I think, when we get so into our things, and yes, I love my own things too. Like, I've got more things now than I ever have in my life. I like them, but I'm not attached to them, minus my plants. Although, again, if it came down to it, obviously I'm leaving, my plants have to stay. But it's the attachment we have to our things that I think stops us from changing our ways in the physical aspect of decluttering. And yeah, and yes, everyone is safe. My son is calm again. My daughter is good. We've got our plan, and we've got our what happens if A, what happens if B, and we're good. So yeah, like I said, it brings you into the now. Like, and that's what it is you got to understand, like, your stuff is yours, obviously. But do you have it because you want it, or do you have it because you spent so much money on it, because somebody else gave it to you, because you felt obligated that they, that you should keep it because of them? Like, there's so many things, and there's like I said, we're going to have many shows, but today, like I said, is just about the plan and adjusting to the plan and embracing the chaos and the journey on the way, but to still have that end goal. Have your end goal. And if your end goal changes, cool. Like I said, change is awesome. Change is fantastic. Oh, and by the way, take a break. When you're decluttering or when you're doing something or whatever, take a break. Oh my God, I used to be that person that never took a break to a point where I forgot to eat. Yeah, that's not good. Like, I can tell you right now, my body did not do well, because you're not giving yourself the energy to do the things you're wanting to do in that plan. You're not giving yourself the permission to step back, to take your lens out, to look at the whole picture. And that's exactly like the whole step of anything, is just to take a step back. Look at it. Is it still where you're wanting to go? And if it is, cool, awesome, fantastic. But if it's not, change the plan. Change the end goal if you need to. You thought you were going to be, a doctor, and then all of a sudden you get in and something happens that, you have some sort of whatever life crisis, and you no longer have the desire for that doctor, then change. And don't feel guilty for that. Because who's going to live your life better than you? Nobody. You have to live your life. You have to live in your head. You have to live in your heart every single day. You are the only person you can't get out of the room with. So you might as well like you. And that includes decluttering things that no longer serve you, whether it's people, whether it's things, whether it's thoughts, whether it's emotions. Whatever it is, it starts with the plan. You embrace the chaos in between. And then you adjust if needed. So, what are some of my favorite planning tools, if any? Pomodoro, absolutely, 100%. Oh, planning tools. That's not a planning tool. That's a productive tool. See, Okay, so planning tools. Ugh, honestly, I'm a pen to paper. I'm a pen to paper because there's something about maybe the connection between the mind and the head, like the hand and stuff like that. I don't know. That's my biggest thing is to go back. Like we make things so complicated. We really do. We absolutely, I know. That's true. I guess we can't do Pomo for the planning. And that's also a productive tool. So if you don't actually know what Pomodoro is, so because some people I've said it to and they're like, I'm sorry, you said what? It is something I wish I had continued, but again, change, we adjust, all that stuff. So basically you either work I do 45 minutes of work, 15-minute break, 45 minutes of work, 15 minutes of break. And you can even do like, there's apps everywhere. There's like, Chrome has a, what's it called? An extension now for Pomodoro timer and stuff like that. And it's how I used to do my declutter for change, like bring your own clutter groups sessions, is we would do it and we would work for those 45 minutes and we would take a break and then we'd talk about what we were doing. We'd make, because it's those breaks that you need. It literally is those breaks that you need just to go, okay, I'm good. I'm still on the thing. Okay, adjust here. Okay, yeah. You know what? Now this just doesn't feel aligned. So you change it. You back to your plan. You go, okay, so I thought it was this and let's change. But okay, and then let me just go back to the other. See, sorry, I'm just seeing if there's any other. Okay, so I know, hang on, let me show this one here. I know that's what upsets me. My plan needs to go how I want, or I turn into Veruca Salt. Oh my goodness, you just brought me back to that movie. So here's the thing. Why are you so, because these are the questions I ask myself. I don't ask anyone else questions I haven't already asked myself. Why are you so attached to the plan and how the plan needs to go? If the plan changes, upsets you? And I'm going to wait and I'm going to go continue reading because I know I've got comments here and I'm going to put them up. Okay. Oh, yes. And then I was going to say, Jessica was also saying that we do Pomo sessions in the Breakthrough Show Network. That is a mouthful, by the way. Discord. And I know lots of people who do them live on Twitch and YouTube if you don't want to do it alone. And that's it. I think that's the biggest thing about a Pomodoro session is you're not doing it alone, and it's accountability too. Let me just tell you, like I could say no to me every single day, every single second of every day. But if I know that I'm supposed to show up, like, I don't know, today, I'll show up. So I'll show up, I'll do the stuff, I'll do the work, and I continue. So, okay. So the question when I had asked Jess of why she's so attached to the thing is, LOL, because I don't want the chaos that comes with it. Nobody wants the chaos. Nobody wants but it's part of the journey. I think we need to start being okay. And I know everyone's like, oh, but you're just calling it in and all this. No, because if you're okay with the chaos, if during the chaos you can calm your body, your mind, and your soul in knowing you got this, the chaos doesn't you can laugh about it. I literally just laughed about the chaos that I've been in my entire life with my aunt last night. Like we were joking. So she called me up just because she was dropping a few things off and I wasn't home at the time because I was picking up my daughter. And we were just talking on the phone as I was waiting. And she, there was a few things I was telling her and she's like, I don't know how you do it, Heather. I was like, you know what? I don't know how I do it either. I think I've gotten to a point where now it's just laughable. Like, keep throwing stuff at me. I'm just going to keep dealing with it. I'm going to be able, because I've gotten to that point where I've cleared stuff out that had such an attachment to me, such an attachment to my emotions, such an attachment to things, it's like, you know what, the chaos, yeah, sure, it's great, whatever, but I now know what's mine and what's not mine. And if it's mine, okay, why is it there? If it's my chaos, what of that chaos am I not okay with? Is it the way it makes me feel? Is it the way that I'm not ready to deal with whatever it is that's causing me to feel the way I'm feeling? Because if that's the case, like, because right now, like, the things that happened, the incident yesterday, yeah, it was chaos, but somebody might have considered that whatever, and it would have ruined their day or whatever. To me now, because there's just been so much, I guess, and there's just so many times where I've head on collided with the chaos, going, all right, I see you. I'm looking right at you. How can we make this easier? How can we adjust the chaos to either be a life lesson, because those are everywhere. How can I change the way I'm dealing with my chaos? Do I need to step back from certain people because those certain people are the reason for that chaos? Do I have to step back from certain, elements of myself because that's the part that causes the chaos? Do I need to, write it all down and then burn the frickin' thing? But okay, I shouldn't. That's a bad thing, especially after yesterday. No, safely burn the thing. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've now I've learned to embrace the chaos, and I can laugh at it. Like, I'm like, yeah, cool. To you, that may be absolutely chaotic. To me, it's just something, like, this is what I was saying to my aunt. To me, it's just something that I guess it's just, I've been surrounded by chaos my entire life, that I'm just like, cool. I just now know how to move on. I want the easy going, whatever, etc. But when it's not there, okay, cool. Let's change. Let's figure out what I can do to, adjust, to embrace the chaos. Like, I remember, who was it? Russell Brunson said, like, he was trying to meditate, and I was watching one of his, either it was his TikTok or his Instagram or something like that. He was trying to meditate, and he was taking a video of it, and around him, he had kids screaming, he had this, he had dogs barking, he had dogs running in front of the things, and he just is sitting there, and he's like, you just have to embrace the chaos, because whether you like it or not, it's going to be there. Whether it's you're trying to meditate and you've got kids asking whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, adjust, move on, go back and center yourself again. Be in the now again. And I think that's where a lot of this comes in, is being in the now. And I think when we are in chaos, we don't know the outcome. All right, so I'm okay with it, but I'm also good with acknowledging I'm ticked off about it, then moving on, honoring all the feelings, then choosing to quickly move on. And then she says, thank God I don't sit with it for weeks anymore. And that's good. And that's huge. That right there is absolutely huge, that you don't sit with it for weeks. And I know it's because you've embraced and cleared out, because I know we've cleared a lot of stuff out. And I know it's a continual life thing that's going to happen until things continue to clear out. And until you're at a point where, we can literally embrace that chaos, embrace the chaos, and just run with it. Run with it. Take with it from the chaos, take what you want and run with it, and leave the rest. Declutter the rest. Goodbye. Whether it's the people, whether you realize that chaos is always, and this is where part of my thing was, my chaos back years upon years ago was always with a specific, I can't even say that, person. Well, unfortunately, that person is no longer in my life. But it's okay, because I probably brought just as much chaos to their lives as they brought to mine, because it was just an energetic crash. And that's fine. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I think we're sometimes so afraid to let go. But letting go allows us to look back at it and see that, yeah, that was just a lesson. How many times do we hear, people come into your lives for a moment, for a season, for a reason, or for life? Same with stuff. Same with your physical stuff. The things I had back when I was in my 20s, I didn't have when I was in my 30s. When I was in my 30s, I don't have when I'm in my 40s. Mostly because my aunt and uncle have, changed theirs situation with all their furniture. And now my place looks like my aunts and uncles, because I'm okay with taking secondhand stuff, because I love secondhand stuff. Love it for environmental reasons and all that stuff. But again, it's change. The whole entire time. It was changing. I was changing. My space was changing. My kids were changing. People around me were changing. And if I was so afraid of change, I would have been stuck back where my mindset was in my 20s, which, by the way, was not a good place. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Who I am today is absolutely completely different person than who I was back in my 20s. Thank goodness. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of the change that has happened in between and all of the chaos, because the chaos has brought me to exactly where I am today. Able to embrace every single moment. And every time the chaos comes, being able to make a plan. Okay, this happened. I'm now no longer on that road. I had to veer off a little bit. Maybe in a couple of years, I come back. Look what I'm doing right now. I haven't been online in however many years, because I took a step back. I took the break, and that literally means if you need to take a break from social media too, if you need to take a break because you're dealing with other things, because your mind is focused here. But again, the end result of my plan was still, I wanted to do an online business. I wanted to be on, in the online space. So here I am, back on my road. And where that leads me from here to the future, I don't know. I have a plan for it, but I'm not attached to the how anymore. I am no longer attached to the how. I am now going, cool, show me how. Universe, please, just show me how this is going to get done. Where I used to have detailed plan, 9 a.m. I'm doing this, 9:30 I'm doing that. I was just so focused and I didn't step away. And that, have a plan, but don't stick to it so much that you're missing the signs, synchronicities, the people of showing you how you can do that easier, more aligned, less chaotic. All right, so we got another part of chaos. I have an aura of chaos about me, I notice. I am used to it and I'm okay with it, but I feel sorry for those that have to deal with me. So the part of the have to deal with me, that's the part that I'd like to know, what to deal with you. It's a joy to be in your presence. That's what you should be saying. It's a joy to see how well you adjust to the chaos. It's a joy to watch you and watch the lessons that you're learning for that. Because the way we speak, even the way we speak to ourselves, about whatever, I love the chaos, sure, but I also love the calm. Do the people around me see me in chaos? Sure. But they also see me that I'm still happy, I'm still go lucky, do I have my moments? Of course. Of course. But to be in your world with the chaos, they're lucky to be able to see that, because they can see how you approach it. And it opens up their mind in showing how other ways can be done, because maybe they had a certain way of dealing with whatever it is. Maybe one day they show up in the same situation or similar situation as you, but because they've watched you or seen you or interacted with you prior and saw how you did it, that opened up their mind to another way. The show me how, as opposed to this is how it has to happen. So yes. And then of course, Jessica says, I love your chaos. Okay, so the funny thing is I typically experience peace around Teresa. So maybe two chaotic people cancel each other out. I don't think this is algebra, but I think what it might be is algebra where, -2 -1, divide by -1. Yeah. Anyways, I was just doing the algebra with my daughter this morning, so it was really funny. So I think what it is with that is there's a possibility that you two just know that you don't have to explain yourselves to each other. That, yeah, the chaos is here, the whatever. So you're in each other's presence because it's calm for you, because you don't have to put on the mask, maybe. You don't have to put up a front. You don't have to pretend that whatever, because you can just be you, knowing that, yeah, we got chaos in our lives. But you know what? We're still good. We are still good. I knew that math would be good for something. Yeah, exactly. See, kids, if there's any kids in the room listening, good is math. Good is math. Math is good. See, it's just embracing anything and everything around you. And I think that's what we really need to understand, that it's okay to have a plan. And it's okay that at the beginning, if you want to be very rigid with that plan, but understand that good as math, yes. But understand that change will happen. And if you're not prepared for the change, it could maybe seem like it's chaotic because it threw you off your path. But if you're already understanding that you are safe during the chaos, that you are safe throughout the whole journey, and that you know in this plan that, yes, it can adjust. I need to take a step back, or I can, veer off to the left versus the right, or whatever the case may be. It's being able to still have that plan, know where you're going. Because again, if you don't have that plan, you're just kind of aimlessly, reaching for the stars and not getting anything. But yeah, having the plan and enjoying the journey on the way, or the chaos, however you want to say it. If it makes you feel better, just call it a journey, and call it a journey. Embrace the journey. If you realize that, hey, call it what it is, and you want to call it embrace the chaos, embrace the chaos. And then clear out, declutter along the way. Because that's what it is. It's about, as you're on those journeys, what that first plan, that was a straight line, you realize that you met somebody that you're not aligning with anymore. And it's okay. It's okay to come to those moments of, okay, I need to clear this out. I need to clear this out for not just me, but for this person. Because every time I'm around that person, I'm not me. I'm not my authentic self. I'm not the person I am. I'm trying to put on a mask because I feel that I have to in front of this person. And I was like that with a lot of people. And now I'm like, whatever. Now I'm just like, either you like me or you don't at this point. Maybe it's because with age, as soon as I hit 40, it was I'm not going to swear on this because just in case there are children, but my gives a poops aren't as much for how people think about me as much, because I've had a lot of people tell me how they think about me, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm still me. If you don't like me, then that's fine. I'm no longer going to change who I am to meet your expectations of me. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to embrace this chaos that's in my life. I'm going to embrace it, enjoy it, change with it, and still stay on my journey that I'm on. I'm still on my plan. My plan's just, adjusted for 3 years, give or take, because there was other things I had to deal with. But in between, I've grown. I've changed. I've grown. My kids have changed. My house has changed. My place has changed. I've done so much decluttering just with the spring cleaning. My gosh. But that's how it is. When we change as people, our environment changes as well. And that's why we get so antsy, and why we get so like, oh my God, there's so much stuff in the corner. There's so much here. I got to do this, whatever. We get so overwhelmed because there's just so much that we want to change, or so much that we want to get rid of, or so much that is not organized. But if you take a step back and you go, okay, I have a plan. Let's write this plan down. And like I said, my biggest thing is pen to paper. Today, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Tomorrow, I'm going to do A, B, and C. The next day, I'm going to do that. And I actually even put check boxes around them. I don't know if, here. We'll put, so this was me. Okay, well, it was a business. I'm actually not going to write business, but it literally is writing what needs to be done. And if I didn't do it that day and I have to do it the next day, I leave it unchecked. And then I go back to all of the things that I said I was going to do. And I go, okay, did I check it? Cool. Did I do that? Yep. Did I do that? Yep. And then I move on. I make sure that it's simple, because if I have overcomplicated, because there's obviously apps everywhere, there's this everywhere. When I overcomplicate it is when I don't do it. That's what I've realized. When I overcomplicate something and I try and do all the fancy schmancy bells and whistles things, it just doesn't happen. So I bring it back to the basics: pen and paper, pencil and paper, if you've even got that, because there's sometimes where I can't find my pen, so I just use a pencil. I'm like, whatever. As long as it's my hand writing it down, there's that connection for me. Now, maybe you are better off using, the computer and using something so that you can get those notifications of, okay, you need to do this. I tried one of those apps. Oh my, I forget what it's called. What is it called? I tried one of those digital apps that gives you a notification for when your next task is or whatever. That caused more chaos in my head than anything else. I had to. Oh my goodness. I had to delete the whole entire app. I didn't even know what was in that. I had to delete it because it was just, and you could adjust the things to like, oh, when did you want a notification? But I realized I don't want digital notifications unless it's my alarm going off to do my relentless joy, or to pick up the kids, or to whatever. Because yes, I even put that in because there are times that I have to, because I adjust to the change of realizing that I sometimes actually have to remind myself to pick up my kids at a certain time because I forget that it's even that time. So how do you actually start the planning? Here we go. So how do we actually start the planning? Say I have a huge space that needs to be decluttered and cleaned. I feel like the planning can be overwhelming, so I don't start. Okay, so I would, and we're going to end on this actually, I would take a pen to paper and just write down the areas. And I mean, when I say areas, I mean, what do you want to declutter? Is it your bedroom? Done. Big topic, bedroom. What do you want to declutter next? The bathroom. Cool, that's your next one. And then you just label off the topics that you need to, as your plan. These are the plans that I want to go forward in. And we're just talking physical clutter right now, people. And then from there, you're going to go, okay, when can I find time to do the bedroom? When can I find time to do the bedroom? Okay, I know this weekend, it's a whole long holiday weekend for us here. I don't know across the world or whatever. I'm going to choose to do it on Saturday morning from 9 to 12. And you're just going to focus on the bedroom. That's it. You're not going to worry about anything else that you wrote down. You're going to focus on the bedroom. Now, the day before, so the Friday night, you're going to write down on a new piece of paper saying, bedroom. What in the bedroom do I need to declutter tomorrow? Then you say, and it's a bigger topic. So I need to do my dresser. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I need to do that. I need to clear off the clothes that are on the chair, or the, oh my gosh, what did I just get the other day? The treadmill that's in the bedroom. It's, now a hanger. That's one of your things. Then you're going to give yourself a grace period in between the 9 to 12. And I mean in between. So you go about halfway and you go, okay. You look at your list and you go, have I done what I needed to do to make me okay and happy with how I'm clearing this space out? Am I choosing a different path because now I just found this item and I need a break and I can't do this anymore? Okay, then stop. Because that has happened with many people that I've worked with in the past, is all of a sudden we have found something we didn't know we had in that space. And it caused the emotional part and the mental part and the overthinking part. And yeah, and it's okay. It's okay to take that break. But you haven't lost your plan. Your plan's still there. You've just had to adjust. You've had to embrace that journey, embrace the chaotic emotions, mental stuff, whatever, but the plan's still there. You still want to declutter that bedroom. But right now, you know what? I'm embracing the right now, how I'm feeling. Because if I ignore it, it's going to show up a lot harder and faster next time. But I'm going to embrace it right now because right now is all I've got. And then if by chance you gave yourself permission to do that, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, that was good. I just cleared that emotion out. That was fantastic. Or at least I feel good about that. And it's only 11 o'clock. Cool. Go do one item on that bedroom list. And that's it. And then celebrate for what you have done. You have started. Starting is the hardest part in anything we do. Is starting because we think it's so overwhelming. Because like I said, you just had a plan from 2 days prior to of what you had to do. But on the Friday night, I got you to focus just on that one bedroom. And then on the Saturday, I got you to focus on that one thing. You bring it back to the basics, the simple one. What is your one thing that hour from 9 until 10? What's that one thing? From 10 to 11, what's that one thing? From 11 to 12. And if 9 to 10 turns into 9 to 11, cool. Then let it turn into 9 to 11. Take that break, adjust, say, okay, either do I have the time to continue this until 2 p.m. today? No? Cool. When can I find the time to finish this bedroom? And you do not move on until that one spot is done. And I say the bedroom first because the bedroom is where we sleep. The bedroom is our sanctuary. The bedroom is where our subconscious mind will be when we sleep. So we want to make it as peaceful as possible for ourselves. And then we can adjust to move on to the next one once the bedroom is done. So that is, okay, getting ready. Okay, here we go. Getting ready for apartment inspection. My daughter made a thorough list. We put our initials on what we intended to do, and that's how we divided the work. It worked pretty well. We passed anyway. Awesome. Okay, sorry. When you said we passed anyways, I was like, wait, who passed the inspection? Never mind. But yeah, and that's it. So it's bringing it back again. It's bringing it back to the simple things, bringing it back to the basics. Like we overcomplicate a lot of things, and decluttering is one of them. And I'm telling you, I did it myself. But at the end of the day, it literally is bring it back to the basics. Put that timer on for those 45 minutes, declutter as much as you can in those 45 minutes, take the break for 15, look at what you got to do, however it works with you. Go do it with a friend. That's what our things were. As I used to get everyone on in our calls and go, okay, what are you working on right now? Okay, cool. Go do it for 45 minutes. When we come back and do our break, we'll talk about it. And then after that, you're being timed, so you want to finish as much as you can. And yeah, and that's basically, yeah. That is, in a nutshell, the whole planning, embracing the chaos, and decluttering all along the way. That's the whole decluttering for change and adjusting to our lives, the now, adjusting to who we want to be, adjusting to who we've become, and giving ourselves permission that it's okay to be all the above. And yeah, if there's any questions, please put them in the chat and then I will answer them. And yeah, Teresa did say that, yeah, it is so easy to overcomplicate the simplest things. Because the simplest thing of just getting it started, we mentally, emotionally overcomplicate it. And that's with everything. We will overcomplicate the simplest things. But again, it comes down to the basics. I like pen to paper to plan, or even, what is this called? Wipe erase board. Because then at least you can wipe it, whatever, blah, blah. And then once you've got your plan figured out, then you put it on your paper. And then you keep that paper with you when you're decluttering. And you only have the spot that's open for you for that day. Whether, like I said, it's your bedroom. You just have that one task there. And when you're done, tick it off. Because I don't know, there's some sort of like dopamine induced stuff that, and here's the other thing. If you want that dopamine hit, you do every little task. So you say top drawer, middle drawer, bottom drawer, like the drawer in the nightstand. You put every single one of those down so you can get that dopamine every time you check it off. And then it makes you want to continue doing it. I do that with my kids. We have in our hallway, we have a board. I'm going to end with this. We have a board, and I literally put one child's stuff, the other child's stuff, and my stuff. And once they're done that, and it's literally just take out the recycling in the garage. But for whatever reason, they love little checky check mark. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to run with this. Originally, I had, so many difficult things, and I was making it so difficult. This is so easy. I just write, every week, I just write what we're going to do for that week. And when you're done it, check. Cool. And they just know. They absolutely know. Oh, I love this. I love this. FYI, I am now cleaning off my desk and found my notebook. That's awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. That is exactly, that is fantastic. See, and here's the thing. And it's when you do it with others, it becomes fun. It becomes contagious because that energy of realizing, oh yeah, like you're right here. You're watching the show. You're doing whatever. You're like, yeah, I can sit here and, declutter this. I don't need that. I don't need this, whatever. It's so contagious. Honestly, I love it. And now it's only because some people call me crazy and I love cleaning and I made a business out of it. I made 2 businesses out of it, but it's just it's so much fun, especially when you do it with other people. So I'm just saying, so here's your homework for tonight. Choose that one spot in that one room and declutter it. Write it down, what your plan was, and declutter it. And then you're going to go to the Breakthrough Show Network Facebook page, and you're going to send me a photo and tag me at Declutter for Change. And then tag Jessica as well at the Breakthrough Show Network. Because I want to see these spots, the befores and the afters. Denal, I know you probably can't get it before, but you can show us an after and then post it on the page on Facebook. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I love, love, love that you guys all tuned in. And if you're watching on the replay, please still do the homework. Take care, guys.